Hi friends, and welcome to the Treehouse. I'm your host Kelsey, and I'm super excited you're here in my treehouse today because today we are going to be learning all about plants. Have you ever grown a plant before? Maybe even had your own garden before? Well, today we are going to be learning all about plants and grow some of our own. So let's go ahead and get started.
Hi everyone, Ranger Lizzy here, and you may notice that I have a new friend for you to meet. This is Pearl, and Pearl is a barn owl. Barn owls are found all across the world in areas that don't get too cold, like the Arctic regions, but pretty much everywhere else, they're very widespread. Pearl just arrived about a month ago from the World Bird Sanctuary. She's 9 years old, so she's an adult, even though she's kind of small for a bird. She is a full-grown owl. So you may notice that she's looking around. Owls have amazing vision with their eyes, but they also have amazing hearing. In fact, barn owls have some of the best hearing in the animal kingdom. A barn owl can hunt in total darkness, and they're really good at it too. So farmers love having barn owls hanging out in their buildings, because what do you think they eat? They eat mice. They eat rodents that might otherwise get into our food. And so we love that owls are out there helping us keep those rodent populations under control. Pearl here eats mice and chicks. So she kind of likes chicken nuggets, just pre-nugget form. So a lot of people think that all owls go hoot, hoot, but actually only a few owls do that. A lot of owls screech, and that's actually what barn owls do too. They have a really high-pitched screech that actually sounds kind of like a ghost. And in some areas, they're actually nicknamed the ghost owl because when owls fly, they don't make any sound like other birds. When you think of like a pigeon or like a crow, when it flies away, it goes flap, 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 flap. But owls have very slow wing beats and special feathers that make it so they don't make any sound. And so for farmers or people who would be outside at night, when a barn owl would fly over, they would see this beautiful white belly from below and hear a kind of a ghostly screech. Yeah, and so they would think that it was a ghost. Do you think you'd like to trick farmers into thinking you're a ghost? Part of why barn owls have such amazing hearing is that beautiful round face, that heart-shaped face. Their face actually acts kind of like a satellite dish or a giant ear, moving sound waves to their ears. And yes, she does have ears. They're just underneath her feathers. And just like you and me, she has ears on her left and on her right, but her ears are kind of lopsided. She has one ear really high up and one ear really low down. And that allows her to pinpoint exactly where a sound is coming, not only left or right of her, but also above or below. And so they can hunt in that total darkness and find even the teeniest, tiniest mouse. Did you know that you can help owls? Sometimes people get mice or rats in their house and they don't want them, and that's totally understandable. And there are ways we can remove mice from our homes. But sometimes people use a poison and that can make the mice really sick. And so unfortunately, when owls eat those mice, they can get really sick too. And so there are other better ways to remove mice from the house, like using plastic humane traps where the mice crawl in and a little door closes, and then you guys can drive 3 miles away and let the mice go in like a park or a field. That's right. And so that'll be a great way to keep owls safe. You can visit Pearl here at the Burgess-Shadbush Nature Center. We look forward to seeing you. She lives in the raptor enclosure outside right behind Artemis, and so we hope to see you soon.
3, 2, 1, sign of the day.
Hi friends, are you ready to do some signing with me today? You are? Perfect, because I have a new sign for us. Today we've been learning all about plants, so it's only right that our sign today is garden. Because usually when we have a lot of plants, we grow a garden of our own. You can have a garden on a porch, or even garden in your yard, or even on a pot that you put on your porch too. Whatever you want, we have the garden for you. So let's learn our sign. Now the first sign we have to learn for garden is the sign for plant. So what we have to do is we have to take one arm, the arm we do not use to write or color with, and it's going to go like this. It's going to have like a little C, go right here. Then we're going to use the hand that we do color and write with to come up. So it's going to go kind of like a claw, like a little clamp right here, and then it's going to grow, 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 and bloom like that, just like a plant does. Have you ever seen a plant grow, 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 and it opens just like that? So this is the sign for plant. So we're going to do that 3 times in a row. Do you want to try it? We're going to go once, twice, 3 times. That's the first step to the sign for garden. The second is super easy. It's kind of like sound mixing, like if you ever see a DJ and they have a mixing board, right? We're gonna go around like this because we're gonna show the area our garden is in. So where do all of our plants? In our garden. So that's our second. Do you wanna try it? Just like this. That's it, you did it, just like that. Now let's try to put them together to make the whole sign. So remember, we need a sign, plant, 3 times. Here it goes, 1, 2, 3, and just like this. That is the sign for garden. Now you might have plants in your garden like some fruits, maybe even like an apple, so a fruit garden. Or you might have a vegetable garden too, where you have yummy vegetables like carrots growing. Whatever garden you have, I bet it's going to be a great one. Thank you for signing with me. See you next time.
We're talking about plants today at the library where we love plants. We have our giant tree sculpture in the children's area and our pollinator garden of flowers out by our parking lot. In the summertime, we have our little caterpillars that we raise here, and then when they grow up into butterflies, we let them outside there, and the birds and bees love those flowers too. Those are all pollinators, and they visit all the plants and pick up pollen and spread it around so that we can grow all the important plants that we need to eat, fruits and vegetables. And speaking of fruits and vegetables, we have a storybook you might like to check out at the library called The Pie That Molly Grew by Sue Heavenrich with pictures by Chamisa, Kellogg. And you can follow Molly along in this story as she plants a pumpkin seed and tends to the little plant that grows. And eventually she gets to harvest a pumpkin and turn it into a pie. We've also got some beginner chapter books. This series called Farm to Mabel is about Mabel visiting a farm where she sees strawberries being grown fresh in the fields. And that's why this little story is called Strawberry Jam-boree. She's going to learn about how to make jam, delicious, yummy jam from all those fresh grown strawberries. And we have another early chapter book series called Farm Friends about Poppy, who lives on a farm where she grows all those important plants that we need to eat, fruits and vegetables. And in this story, Blue Ribbon Radishes, Poppy's hoping that the radishes she's grown will win a prize at the fair. Whoa, we've also got this plantastic book where you can learn about freaky plant facts, whether it's the strangest, stinkiest, tallest, oldest, creepiest, every kind of strange plant you can think of. You can learn some interesting facts about strange plants all around the world. So make sure you come visit the library soon to find some more great books about plants, flowers, fruits, vegetables, farms, and even our pollinator friends who help to grow all of those plants.
Hi friends, welcome to Craft Corner. As you can see, we're gonna be making a craft today, but not just any craft, maybe something a little bit different. This is going to be making something that we're actually going to be able to grow and maybe one day actually eat. Today we're going to be doing some gardening. But before we go outside and plant our plants into the ground so they can grow, we actually need to start sprouting them. Have you ever heard of that word? Sprout? It's just a little baby plant when they're starting to grow. Now you're only going to need a few things in order to do this. And we get to be pretty creative with what you have maybe at home or what you can grab at the store too. So if you see here, I have this tray that has all these individual little spots that we can grow some plants in. But maybe you don't have this at home. You can also use an egg carton. Maybe you have eggs in your refrigerator that you've already eaten up. We can open them up, and do you see here how it has all the individual slots? Just like our plastic guy here, you can actually grow some plants into here. But for today, we are going to be planting some plants in this tray here. So the first thing we have to do is actually fill them up with some dirt. Now I have some potting soil right here that we are going to be using, because if you look inside the dirt, you might see some white specks, even a little bit of some sticks in there, and it's really helpful for the plants. So it helps to have some oxygen go through, our water to go through, and it has all the nutrients for our plants in there too. It's like plant food. Do you ever eat some food? Well, the plants need food as well. Just like we need food and water, that's what we're going to be doing for our plants so they can grow just like us. So we're gonna start by putting some dirt into these containers. But I make a really big mess. I don't know about you, so I'm gonna put some gardening gloves on. Voila! It's like I'm a little plant doctor here. I'm gonna grab one of our containers out so that you can see it. And if you notice, these have little holes in the bottom too. That way, if we overwater or put too much water in, the water drains out so that our plants don't drown in the water. Start filling it up. And we are gonna fill it almost all the way up to the top, so there's plenty of dirt in here. I'm gonna hold it up for you so you can see. Do you see how much dirt we have in there? Pretty full. Now, this is the reason why I wore my gloves. We're gonna make a little hole inside of our dirt bed we have here, right into the center. And we're gonna keep that hole right there, because now it's time for us to get out some seeds. I don't know if you've ever seen a vegetable or a flower seed before, but they can be really teeny tiny, and then they start to grow. So we're gonna open up some tomatoes. Do you like tomatoes? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I love tomatoes. But the great part about growing some plants is that you don't necessarily have to grow tomatoes. You can grow some fruit, like some watermelon, even some pumpkins. You can then grow some green beans or cucumbers, whatever you want. Do you see how tiny those seeds are? They're little babies, they're so tiny. But we only need one seed. So I'm gonna take just one out. One little baby one here. And we're gonna put it right into the hole we made. Goodbye, seed. And now that we have it in there, we can either brush over some of the dirt we put in, or I'm gonna add one more little scoop right on top. So now it's completely covered, and I'm gonna put it right back into the tray. And now I'm gonna spray it with some water. We're just going to spray the top. Oh, this makes a fantastic sound. Oh, I love it. Now we've added some water to the top. Now this isn't going to be the last time you water it. For these, you might even have to water them every single day. So you might pick a time like the morning or the afternoon where you can remember you need to spray our plants. And then we're gonna make sure we put them in the sun so that the sun also feeds the plants too. They need the sun to grow big and strong just like we do. Like we go out into the sun and play. Well, our plants need the sun as well. So now that we have filled up one container, I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the rest, add some seeds into them, and we'll wait a few weeks of watering them, putting them out into the sun, and see how they grow. You wanna see how fast they grow? Let's go take a look. Hi friends! Right now I'm here at the Shelby Township Community Garden at the Shelby Township Activity Center. Maybe you have a community garden in your neighborhood too. Now, if you don't have this space in your own yard, it's perfect. You can actually get a space somewhere else and plant your own plants. So that's what we're going to do today. We're gonna put the plants that we grew into the ground. And then should I like it in or should I shovel it?
Do a scoop just so.
That was fun.
Hi friends, Ranger Lizzy here with another story for Storytime. Let's jump right in. Today we're going to read The Hidden Rainbow. One little bee peeks out to see a world of gray and snow. She's looking for bright colors, and she needs you to help them grow. First, please brush the snow off the budding camellia trees. Look, the flowers are red and their nectar feeds 2 bees. Tickle the very tops of the growing tulip leaves. Very soon the bees will find orange. And can you see 3 bees? Next, point to the crocus shoots, just beginning to sprout. 4 bees are eating pollen now that yellow has come out. Now it's time to search for a special 4-leaf clover. Do you see it? There it is! What luck! A field of green with 5 bees zooming over. Please wave the bees back to their hive. Clouds are gathering for a shower. Bye, bees. The bees don't like the rain, but it's important for the flowers. Blow the forget-me-not buds dry as the rain clears from the sky. Can you blow on it? The sun is shining, blue is blooming, and 6 bees are buzzing by. Next, trace a line straight down the orderly hyacinth row. 7 bees are foraging in blooms of indigo. You're practically done. Now blow a kiss to the lovely lilac trees. The violet blossoms are brimming with nectar for 8 bees. At last, get ready to find 9 bees on the rainbow you grew. But the story is not over. These bees have work to do. Can you see 10 humming bees getting busy in these trees? They're spreading so much pollen, you just might have to achoo! And why are the bees spreading pollen? So something you eat can grow. Thanks to the bees, soon you'll have your own delicious rainbow. See apple trees, peach trees, pear trees, blueberries, apples, plums, and blackberries. The end.
All right, it's time for us to grab our binoculars, even if it's our hand binoculars, to see what we can discover outside my window. Let's see if we can see any plants today. Let's take a look. That's a pumpkin seed. But what's growing out of the pumpkin seed? Oh, it's roots. That's what's growing. Roots are how plants get water and other nutrients it needs to grow bigger and bigger and bigger, just like you. All right, here I am eating a snack. Wait a second, that's a squirrel. What could that be? It looks like oh, wait a second. I think it's a flower that's about to bloom. Let's watch it grow bigger and bigger, and there it is. Oh, look, it's some grapes or some berries. But it's moving. Oh, it's a woodpecker. I think the woodpecker wants a snack too. Now, what is that growing in the green leaves? Are those pineapples? No, wait a second, they're strawberries. Oh, I love strawberries. Do you like strawberries? Wait a second, is that a... It is! It's a rabbit with a shopping cart full of carrots? Do you think he'll share? Wow, you discovered a lot of plants, didn't you? Great job! Now until next time, play fair, play nice, and play together. Bye!